a warrant needs to be served out. You know, but they never go to Harris and Kleinbold's house. They never go to this guy's house. And I bet you it's going to come out in months. It always has. That this guy was on some type of Prozac drug, which they admit puts you into a highly suggestible la-la land. Well, you'll do things like shoot people. Took us decades, but now it's on the drug inserts. They have to admit it. Sheriff Matt coming up.
We're on the march. The Empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
A very wealthy U.S. citizen is predicting that in 2011, we will witness the most important day in America in more than 50 years. He says it will change everything about our lives. The way you shop, travel, invest, educate your children, and even how you take care of your health and your own family. Now, this man has made some outrageous predictions over the years. The crazy part is, he's usually right. You see, he predicted the collapse of GM, Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, and America's biggest mall owner, General Growth Properties. In fact, Barron's called his work a dire prophecy. Recently, he created a video, which you can watch online for free, detailing his biggest and most important prediction yet. And it's a real eye-opener. I can't stress this enough. You should at least watch this free video online today. He explains everything you need to know, including simple steps you can take to protect yourself. You can find the video at www.endofamerica3.com. That's endofamerica, the number 3.com. Watch the free video at www.endofamerica3.com. That's endofamerica3.com. Folks, you've heard us talk about HomeGain before. HomeGain is now offering a special promo where you get up to $150 when you buy or sell a home with a HomeGain agent you find through their Find a Realtor program. HomeGain lets you compare realtors anonymously. It's easy. Go to HomeGain150.com to find and compare realtors anonymously. Enter promo code HomeGain150 and receive up to $150 when you close a deal with a HomeGain agent. Share the HomeGain 150 promo code with your friends via Facebook, Twitter, text, and more. Look for Max, the HomeGain Gorilla, to find out more about how HomeGain is going to pay you. Visit HomeGain150.com today to enter your promo code and get paid for buying or selling a house. That's HomeGain150.com. This is Alex Jones with 5 good reasons you should consider buying a solar power generator. Number 1, new climate legislation could easily double or triple your electric bill. Number 2, our new energy czar wants to control how much power your electric company allows you to have. It's true. Total government control of electricity in the name of smart grid technology is coming. Number 3, in some areas of the country, the power grid is dangerously overloaded. And now, new socialist legislation is only compounding the problem. Number 4, dangerous weather is always a threat to local grids. Every year, thousands of families lose their power from weather-related outages. Number 5, a solar power generator provides powerful backup insurance and peace of mind. Folks, I really believe in the solar power generators offered by Solutions from Science, one of my oldest sponsors. You can get more information at www.mysolarbackup.com. That's mysolarbackup.com. Remember, the government doesn't own the sun, so go to mysolarbackup.com or call 1-877-327-0365.
You are obsolete, Mr. Wordsworth.
A lie. No man is obsolete.
You have no function, Mr. Wordsworth. You're an anachronism, like a ghost from another time.
I am nothing more than a reminder to you that you cannot destroy truth by burning pages.
You're a bug, Mr. Wordsworth, a crawling insect, an ugly, misformed little creature who has no purpose here, no meaning.
I am a human being.
Words, Mr. Wordsworth, that have no substance and no dimension.
They want to shut down our speech.
Like the wind.
I don't care. I tell you, I don't care. I'm a human being. I exist.
That's right.
And if I speak one thought aloud, that thought lives, even after I'm shoveled into my grave.
Delusions, Mr. Wordsworth. Delusions that you inject into
You're not
your
getting our
veins
free
to make
speech.
you think you have a strength when you have no strength at all. You have nothing but spindly limbs
Yeah,
and a
shut
dream,
up, bureaucrat.
and the state has no use
Shut up,
for your
control
mind.
freak.
Resistance to tyrants is obedience to God. It's Alex Jones.
That's right. No amount of your staged events or your wind-up toy, drugged-out children of government bureaucrats are going to stop us from taking this republic back. We're going to Sheriff Richard Mack, who was a sheriff in the era of Arizona, who won at the Supreme Court, who knew Judge Roll, who was killed. Got a lot of suspicious stuff going on that front. Then coming up in about an hour, we have popping in for the last 30 minutes, Larry Pratt of Gun Owners of America on this situation. We're also going to be opening the phones up for John, Dave, Harry, Joe, Ryan, and many others. The toll-free number to join us is 800-259-9231. If you're from Tucson and you have any eyewitness reports or anything that's particularly key on the intel front, we're going to open up our phone lines here at my office, but only for people that have bombshell information. 877-789-ALEX, 877-789-ALEX, the main phone system, 800-259-9231. Before we go to Sheriff Richard Mack, I want to tell you about some of the sponsors that made today's broadcast possible. First off is Prepared.pro. That's Prepared.pro. These folks have been in the readiness business for 10 years. They are in the business of selling steel-plated peace of mind. They have emergency shelters, safe rooms, boxes that are properly made to bury your guns so they won't get water in them. They sell everything you need to be more ready for what's coming down the pike, survival gear, you name it. Again, it's Prepared.pro for professional crisis preparedness assistance. Banner up on Infowars.com. And finally, Stansberry Research, dealing with their free video with dollar devaluation and their predictions the dollar will not be the world reserve currency by the end of 2011. You can watch the free video at endofamerica3.com. Stansberry & Associates Investment Research is an independent investment research firm founded in 1999. Subscribers in more than 100 different countries. They recently created an eye-opening video that you can see at endofamerica3.com for free, detailing their biggest and most important prediction yet. Again, that's endofamerica3.com. And finally, we couldn't do anything with this alternative media operation that we've built without your support. When you go to the online video bookstore, you get those Infowars.com T-shirts to spread the word and to meet like-minded people, wearing your colors loud and proud, the Don't Tread on Me shirts. All these words and images that scare the tyrant so bad that their real enemy is speech, not some wind-up toy drugged out of his mind that citizens took down and dealt with. Infowars.com, the books, the videos, the films on the chemtrailing, the films on the police state, the Obama deception, Fall of the Republic, Invisible Empire on this unelected global government, all available at Infowars.com or by calling toll-free 888-253-3139, 888-253-3139. And you can also write to us here at P.O. Box 19549, Austin, Texas, 78760. Got a lot of new books we're carrying, like They Own It All, Including You, by way of toxic debt. Also, The $1 Trillion Conspiracy by New York Times bestseller Jim Marrs. The system doesn't like that all these books exposing the New World Order are New York Times bestsellers, or that my films are seen by hundreds of millions of people online. They don't like it. They're scared. They know people are waking up. And so I go back as we go to Sheriff Richard Mack to our articles warning everyone back in 2010, top Fed repeats ominous absorb terror rhetoric. All these different White House officials and advisors making chilling comments about how they need staged terror attacks in America to be blamed on domestic groups so that people will then love Obama again and accept their agenda. And it's all right here. In fact, let me just pull you the Robert Shapiro clip. This is just one of them. Clinton and Obama advisor. The bottom line here is that Americans don't believe in President Obama's leadership, said Shapiro, adding, this is Financial Times of London, he has to find some way of demonstrating that he is a leader who can command confidence. And short of a new 9/11 event or an Oklahoma City bombing, I can't think of how he can do that. And I'm sorry to have to talk about mind control, but we know it's been declassified. They have them. You get into Harris and Kleinbolt and Columbine. That was a staged event. It takes hours to go over the evidence. But we're joined for the next 55 minutes or so by a man who really needs no introduction, SheriffMac.com. Former sheriff of Graham County, Arizona. In '94, he filed a lawsuit challenging the Brady Bill, ruled on by John M. Roll, the judge who was just murdered by the Grim Reaper character, who loves Karl Marx and likes to dress as a woman and burn American flags, but he's a conservative, the New York Times says. He's a lecturer on constitutional issues relating to gun control, law enforcement, and states' rights. And I had the pleasure of having him speak at an event I had in Central California a few months ago. And he's here with us now because he knows the players. He knows the gun grabber, anti-free speech, pimp, Sheriff Clarence Dupnick, what a dupe he is to tyranny. And he also knows the late and honorable, and he was an honorable judge, Roll. And he was a sheriff out in those parts, and he won at the Supreme Court. So we're going to go over that with Sheriff Mac. Then I'm going to hit some new intel and get his take on it, and then your phone calls. Sheriff Mac, good to have you here with us.
Thanks a lot, Alex. It's a real sad day for America to address this issue, but especially to address the issue of one of the very few, if not the only, principled constitutional judge in America, and now he's gone. And as you said, he was the judge in my case, and he defended me. Everything that we stood for by principle, he stood with us. He made sure that those who were going after me were shot down, those who were trying to attack. Even my standing, the federal government said that Sheriff Mac can't even sue us because he has no standing. He doesn't represent the county. He's not a county commissioner, therefore has no business and no lawful authority to sue. Judge Roll shut that down. He said the only principle that really matters here is that the government is trying to force Sheriff Mac to violate his oath of office to comply with federal unconstitutional, unfunded mandates. He recognized it. He stood behind it. He had the courage to stand for what the truth was that I was actually trying to do. He's mentioned in all my books, especially from my Cold Dead Fingers. And if anybody wants to pick that up, it's actually the very best quote I've ever heard. Can you imagine, Alex, that a federal judge, and this is on page 19, he said, Congress exceeded its authority under Article 1, Section 8 of the United States Constitution, actually quoted the enumerated powers of Congress and said they violated Article 1, Section 8, and therefore Mac wins because of the 10th Amendment. And this also, he was the only judge who heard this case out of dozens and dozens of judges who heard this case at the circuit court level and at the Supreme Court. He was the only one that said this also violated Mac's Fifth Amendment rights because it violates his right to due process.
Now, I want to go more over this, but as we're researching this deeply, it turns out that Congresswoman Giffords, we're going to play this clip next hour, was on Fox News the day before she was shot, and she was talking about breaking the left-right paradigm, coming together, cutting government, cutting congressional spending. If the Democrats and Republicans ever come together against the open borders, against the gun control, against the dollar devaluation, it's game over for the bankers. And I find it very suspicious that Judge Roll, who was for controlling the border and was meeting with her about the deteriorating security, he'd been criticizing that 80-plus miles into Arizona is now controlled by Mexico. It turns out that, and I'm going to get to this a little bit later after you talk more, top U.S. federal judge assassinated after threat to Obama agenda. It turns out that in a key ruling in an SVR report, federal judge John McCarthy Roll was the chief judge for the United States District Court for the District of Arizona, who this past Friday issued what was called a preliminary ruling in the case of United States of America versus the 333-520 in United States currency, and then they have the case number filed, wherein he stated he was preparing to rule against Obama's power to seize American citizens' money without clear and convincing evidence of a crime being committed. So he was going up against the Know Your Customer Patriot Act stuff, and how key this ruling was. There's been other rulings against grabbing people's homes without proper deeds. He was going in that direction. I tell you, very convenient that these two got shot for the Obamanoids. I mean, if this was a so-called conservative out to kill liberals, he sure killed and wounded the wrong people. Richard Mack.
Oh, no question. Now, there's no question that Gabby Giffords is a good woman. She has been very independent.